Hello, Happy New Year, guys.
Happy New Year.
Or at least it's the New Year here in Australia, because I think Australia is one of the first countries in that time zone to enter the New Year.
So we're special.
Yes, so we would like to report that everything is safe in the new year so far. Nothing has gone wrong. So whoever is entering the new year can look forward to it. Anyway, we just woke up, set up the lights over here, the phone, and we wanted to share our first cup of coffee in the new year with everyone else from our little Majestic Bean community on YouTube. And yeah, we'll just report that everything is safe. Enjoy a nice cup of coffee and then continue with the rest of the day. Hopefully the weather is going to be nice today, so we can enjoy a nice day out somewhere, probably in nature. If not, we'll see, we'll do something else.
Simple.
Yes, what I have here is a bag of coffee, a Mexican coffee, a naturally processed beans that my friend Robbie from How To Coffee gave me as a Christmas present.
Hi, Robbie.
And I still have some of them, so we'll enjoy those. It's a very tasty coffee, roasted for espresso. We have tasting notes of chocolate, grape, honey, mango, pear, raspberry. So it's very interesting. Since it's a naturally processed coffee, it's something that I prefer. So we're definitely gonna enjoy this. I'm gonna make myself a nice double espresso, and I'm gonna make Valeria her usual soy cappuccino or whatever that is. And yeah, that's what we're gonna do. I've already dialed this in. It's a 19-gram dose, just as usual, but with this one, I'm getting a yield of around 35 grams, since I found that it tastes best that way. And let's close up. I hope that everyone is watching is going to have a nice New Year's Eve, because most of the people in the US are still at the 31st of December at the moment.
Yeah, around 16 hours behind,
Yes.
depending on where they are.
And Europe is around 10:30 p.m. So if anyone is watching in Europe,
They already are.
you're almost there.
They're already getting drunk.
The neighbors were bumping loud music all night.
Bunker house music.
I have a feeling some of them are some weird drug addicts, but don't tell anyone.
We're not judging anyway.
Yes. Who knows? Anyway, let's see what's going on here.
Alright, who do we have? Ooh, thank you, Happy Smoking 100. He said best coffee channel on YouTube.
Thank you, mate.
And we also
Appreciate
have George
You're the
Popa.
man.
George Popa saying, hello guys, Happy New Year.
George the man as well. He's been with us for a while. He's a very good person. I mean, he always comments on our videos. Happy Smoking as well. Them too. Loyal followers. I love you guys. Let's start running. And also Happy New Year to you too as well. I forgot to say.
Good manners.
I don't want to be rude.
Ohio. He lives in Ohio.
Huh? Ohio?
Yeah. I mean, he said Ohio here. Thank
George.
you. Yeah. So he's still a bit
I
behind.
think you already mentioned that. But I must have forgotten.
That's okay.
We have I mean, the majority of the people that watch our videos are from the US for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe the Gacha Classic is a very popular machine there.
Could be.
Since the channel is mostly revolving around content related to this particular machine. But I'm not sure. Maybe George or Happy Smoking, he could tell us his name if he wants so, because Happy Smoking is definitely not his name, right? But I don't know.
Oh, and Happy Smoking is from California.
California, love. Yeah.
God damn.
Well,
And we also have a new person on the channel. It's Reynaldo Herrera, but he's from St. Louis.
St. Louis.
Yeah.
St. Louis, that's a.
Oh, and Happy Smoking, his name is Jake. So let's
Hello, Jake.
let's
Nice
call
to
him
meet
Jake
you.
from now on.
Jake, Happy Smoking now.
At least.
Jake is better. St. Louis. Wait, is that the state in the U.S.?
Yeah, the US.
Ah, yes. Okay. Because I think there is also a country in Central America, something that's called St. Louis and something.
Correct him if he's wrong.
Yeah, St. Louis and Tomé, or I don't know. Maybe my geography is not important.
George Popa, because you all know coffee better than the US branded crab box. Words of wisdom.
Well, that's true. I mean, look, there are so many better companies making better coffee than Starbucks, and all the most commercial companies are pretty shit, to
But
be
it
honest.
still goes strong because, you know, of the brand
Yes, but
and many other things.
what are you gonna do? I mean, we went. I think there are a couple of reserve roasteries of Starbucks in the US. Obviously,
Yeah.
I think one was in Boston or something, and people are going nuts about it because it's the reserve roastery. It's like they roast coffee there, and you know, same as in Milan.
Oh, yeah.
It looks beautiful, and then you come in, you overpay for the coffee, and it tastes like shit. And it's so disappointing because you're wasting your money. When you're paying money for coffee and you receive a bad product, I just feel disappointed.
The disappointment.
Because I'm paying money, I want something nice. Alright,
We're ready.
let's do this. This coffee is pretty good, very juicy. It's very thick, viscous. It's gonna be nice.
We're all waiting for.
Yes. This is gonna be some good stuff.
Okay.
Hmm?
So, Jake asks.
Valeria is reporting on the
I'm
live.
just gonna be
because
the person looking at the chat.
She's also tuned in on the live so she can see the comments because my phone is on the
weird.
tripod.
It's weird to look at us. It's like an inception, like okay.
And it's also lagging behind probably a bit.
Slightly.
It doesn't matter.
So Jake asks, what's your favorite way to brew coffee?
Oh, my favorite way, Jake. Look, I'll be honest, I really like the AeroPress. Just because it's simple. I like simple things. I'm a simple man. And the AeroPress, I just wake up, put the kettle on boil, grind some coffee, 2 minutes and it's done. A nice cup of coffee. Whereas with espresso, I need to heat it up, wait for 30 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever it is.
Too much
Get the grind right, 2 seconds off, and it's gonna taste completely different than if it's 2 seconds faster or slower. You know, the variables are so huge, and espresso is so sensitive that 1 or 2 grams over yield is not the same as, you know, the ideal recipe. And that's why I just prefer the AeroPress, because also it's cheap. I think it was around $60, 60 Australian dollars for the AeroPress, whereas for the machine, the PID and then the tamper and the scale, it costs almost $1,000.
Yeah,
So look,
that's a big investment.
although I enjoy espresso as well, to be honest, I just enjoy nice coffee. Right, so what's my favorite type of way of brewing coffee? Probably the AeroPress. just because it's simple.
Look at that.
But what's your favorite brewing method, Jake? You can let us know in the comments. I think
Oh, no.
Jake already asked about it in a comment about the AeroPress and something about a bigger recipe, but I don't remember. That was from last week.
No, Jake, we don't have a good eyesight between me and Goran. Like, we're very bad in that.
What?
Not about the comments, like how we read them.
It's so Valeria is just tuned in on the live and she's watching the comments as we speak because we're recording with my phone and the main camera of the phone is turned towards us, so we can't read the comments. But it's so cool to interact with people that have joined the live.
Yeah.
This is the first time we've done
it.
It was like an idea I had this morning because last week a couple of people left comments and then Valeria saw them just before we ended the live stream. So I feel like when we are live we should also interact.
Yeah, it's
answer
much
some
more
questions.
like,
It's cool.
exciting. So Jake said espresso, but I have been getting into pour over. That's nice.
Pour over, absolutely.
Pour over is very good.
As a matter of fact, to be completely honest, the pour over brewing method and the AeroPress is actually not the same brewing method because one is percolation and the other one is where the coffee is staying in contact with the water all the time, which is the AeroPress. So anyway, pour over coffee results in a better cup most of the time than an AeroPress because it's just a superior brewing method. The reason I'm not doing pour overs, although I have pour over equipment, I have all of this stuff. As you can see, this is the equal of the Kalita. If anyone knows what's that, these are Kalita filters. I have the V60 over here. I have
that little
what else do
decanter.
I have? Yeah, the little decanter. I have all the papers for the V60 as well. So I have the equipment, but my gooseneck kettle broke.
Yeah.
And since I got the espresso machine, I just kind of can't justify getting a good gooseneck kettle that's gonna cost me around 300 Australian dollars just so I can make pour overs because the AeroPress makes almost as good of a cup as a pour over. So just wasting $300 for a fancy kettle is something I can't really justify at the moment. But you never know.
Alright. Jake.
Let's make her a coffee as well.
Alright, so we have
What
George.
did Jake say?
He's getting a gooseneck pretty soon.
Is he making pour overs without a gooseneck?
No. He's getting a gooseneck kettle and he spent $70. Around $70 US. So it's pretty much the same. No.
No,
How much
really.
did you spend for that one?
It's 100. That $70 US is equivalent
100-ish.
or around 110 Australian dollars.
Yeah.
But what's the brand? Jake, what's the brand? Let me know. This previous gooseneck kettle that I had was some Chinese bullshit, and it broke after a year. And the thing is, with a gooseneck kettle, if you're getting one that you can heat up on the stove, I wouldn't recommend because when it comes to pour overs, you want temperature control of the water. Because if you are getting a gooseneck kettle that you're gonna heat up on the stove, most of the time your water is gonna be just off the boil, but off the boil can mean 98 degrees, 96 degrees, 94 degrees. You will never know accurately what's going on with the water. Whereas with some of the more expensive kettles, such as the Fellow kettles, for example, or the Hario kettles, Bonavita, Barista, and so on. You have that little digital screen where you can fine tune and adjust the temperature of the water to a degree, right? And that helps a lot.
Yeah.
But those kettles are between $250 to $300.
The brand is Kosoirar. Am I pronouncing it right?
I've never heard of that.
I don't know. And George says, I would be upgrading from the Encore. Probably a hand grinder. That would be my morning workout.
Yeah, I have a hand grinder. Well,
Is it the one that does like this?
yeah, the one I used to have back in the day. It's still over there somewhere. The thing with hand grinders as well is, I mean, he's upgrading from the Encore, which we have over here as well,
Yeah,
on the bottom. But depends on what you're using it. If you're gonna upgrade to a hand grinder to grind for espresso, then you're gonna have a bit of trouble.
Maybe it's just
Unless,
kidding.
yeah, I don't know. If he's kidding, fair enough. If he's not, then if you're grinding for espresso with a hand grinder, you're gonna have a difficult time because it just, I don't know, it's probably not gonna be good enough. Unless he buys a Comandante, which is 650 Australian dollars for a hand grinder. But that grinder is the best.
But is there like a difference? Does it make the grinding more, I don't know,
What?
better?
It's all,
or so it's just like a different method of grinding?
Just manual.
Yeah.
No
No
electricity
electricity involved.
right? But this Comandante grinder that I'm talking about, it's I think it's a German built grinder, and it has these some ceramic coated, I don't know what they are, the blades inside of the grinder, and it's literally the best hand grinder in the world. It's actually probably a better grinder than this one
Damn.
when it comes to grind quality and consistency and all the good words that people in the coffee industry use to sell their products.
Yeah.
But it's for a hand grinder you're paying $650 to $800 depending on which blades you get. So imagine paying $800 for a hand grinder, something you're
It's
gonna
gotta be worth it.
crank every day. But yeah, it's gonna be a good workout, as I said. So that's about it. Let's make Valeria a coffee.
Okay, yeah, thank you, please. And, okay, George Popa said that he was looking at the Comto. He said Kino grinder, maybe. Do you know the brand?
Depends. If you're looking for espresso and a hand grinder for espresso, don't even go there. don't waste your money because
Are
you're
you
gonna
shattering
be
people's dreams?
yeah, don't waste your money because you're gonna be disappointed at the end of the day. But if you're looking just for like filter stuff and so on, any hand grinder will do. Even the cheapest ones from Hario or I don't know, Rhino Gear, I think is also a nice cheap company. Kinu, I've never heard of Kinu.
I'm just having a look at the gooseneck that Jake said. He said, sorry, the brand is Crozier Gooseneck
Kettle.
Kettle.
Yes.
I'm just gonna have a look to see if I can find it. Oh,
Let me see.
oh no, but this is Kozori.
Oh, it's not that one? 'Cause that looks cute.
It's not the same that I mentioned. I'm gonna do some research.
Doesn't matter.
I'm gonna be like the Jamie, the young Jamie of the Joe Rogan.
Does anyone here watch the Joe Rogan Experience? Let's see in the comments below.
Please, let's
We love that podcast.
say yes.
And if you don't watch it, then you should go and write Joe Rogan Experience Specialty Coffee. And there is this podcast episode from probably 5 years ago, where this guy is a guest and he's a specialty coffee expert from back in the day. And it's such an interesting episode because they talk about coffee and they talk about the origin of coffee in, I think, in Ethiopia and so on, and how coffee traveled around the world, how the colonial powers spread coffee all over the world and so on. So yeah, just go in on YouTube. On YouTube, you can't do it on YouTube anymore. Go on Spotify, go on Spotify, type in Joe Rogan Specialty Coffee and you'll find that episode. It's very cool. There you go.
Thank you, Anita Coffee. And then in the meantime, Massimo joined. He said,
Massimo, hello
Yeah.
Massimo.
Happy New Year, Massimo. And then he said, thanks for all the videos so far. I recently bought a Gather Classic and your videos have helped a lot.
Yes, Massimo mentioned that in the comments in one of the
Thank
videos.
you, Massimo.
Thank you for joining, Massimo. We are happy to have you. Happy New Year to you too. And where's Massimo from? Massimo, let us know where you're from. I want to say from Italy, but you know.
Let's not assume.
Yes, maybe you live in the US, who knows.
Yeah.
If you're from Italy, let us know from which city. Valeria is also from Italy, born and bred there.
And bread.
From the little town of San Benedetto
Del Tronto.
del Tronto.
Because there's many San Benedetto. Yes, thank you.
First coffee of the year. The holy coffee.
Yeah.
The majestic bean.
Finally. Oh no.
I need some water as well. I'm dry.
Like a little raisin.
We had a couple of mimosas yesterday.
With some good Prosecco actually.
Yes. Beautiful Prosecco from...
Byron, no.
It was from somewhere in Geelong.
Mm.
That's in Melbourne already. But anyway, this is some nice stuff. This is such a beautiful coffee. Very sticky, thick. Not a heavy body or mouth feel, but it just feels like honey is coating your mouth. And now it has cooled down a bit. And I find that my espresso, the espressos that I enjoy the most have been left to cool down quite a bit. And if you haven't tried doing that, just make yourself an espresso, try it, taste it when it's hot, and then just leave it aside for like 5 minutes to cool down and try it again. You will notice a huge difference in taste, and most of the time the taste is gonna be better when it's cooled down.
Yeah, true.
At least that's what I've noticed. It's the same with filter coffee as well. When it's hot, you drink it, it's kind of alright, but when it cools down, it's a whole different world. Let me see, mate. What do we have?
So Massimo is from Toronto, Canada.
Canada.
That's so cool. But his parents are from Calabria, so that makes sense.
That's where Maria is from, right? Calabria.
Wasn't she from Basilicata, you said?
Oh, okay. So yes.
Close by
Close
anyway.
by.
Just
Okay.
near.
Calabrese.
What's this? Did it do like...
I don't know.
Is this like Byron's? I have no idea. Is this like a transfer?
George, if you just donated $20 to the channel, thank you very much. We are very new to this. I don't even
know how that works, but thank you. I don't know what
Thank
that
you,
is.
George. You are the man.
You're
George
the-
is the man.
Thanks to you, we're gonna get some bread today.
Thank you very much, George. I remember George left us a comment, I don't know, maybe when we were at 400 subscribers, and he said that he was number 40 or something.
He did.
Thank you, George. Very appreciated. It's interesting. It's so for the past year, since we started the channel since July, I think.
Yeah, the
right?
lockdown.
We started it right after literally the next day after this state of Victoria went into total lockdown. So we couldn't go out, couldn't do stuff, we could only do shopping and so on. And it's interesting how, although we went through a difficult period when it comes to our freedoms and just being stuck at home, it was also such an enjoyable experience to make this channel, watch it grow, meet new people virtually, right?
Yeah.
And see how much people enjoy the videos is making us make even more content, become better, and just enjoy this wild, majestic being ride. So
Yeah.
thank you to everyone who joined so far, and I have a feeling this is gonna become even bigger and better in this new year.
2021.
Yeah, 2021 is gonna be interesting. If everything goes according to plan, we definitely have some interesting things that we wanna do with this channel. I can't really disclose any yet because we're still kind of working on it, and at the same time I'm also trying to take some time to actually sit down and calmly think about what we want to do, something new, something improved, something more interesting. We are definitely, so this live streaming thing that we've just started doing was one of the ideas that I had probably a week ago and just executed on it, because I kind of thought that releasing just one video a week is good, but it's not enough for me. You know, I'd like to provide more value to the people that are watching, and the only value currency that the Majestic Bean as a channel produces is content, it's information, it's videos, right? So once a week for me was not enough. So that's why I thought we need to do it more often. And live streaming is just a hassle-free, easy setup. You know, you just wake up, put on the phone, go live, set up some lights to make us look better, and that's
it's
it.
much more interactive. Like,
And,
you know,
and
replying to you guys, it's much more exciting.
because the last videos when we did, we weren't replying to comments because I don't know, we just couldn't do it.
I wasn't even thinking.
I didn't think of it because it's new. All this is new.
We just
it's like,
figure it out along the way.
Exactly. I'm figuring it out along the way. So it's so cool to see comments and respond to them, and whoever is joining, it's so nice.
Come and join.
For you guys to take time off your schedules to watch us drink coffee in Melbourne, right?
So much
and
appreciated.
We have people from Ontario, we have people from California, we have people from it's very interesting.
It's so cool.
I'm just waiting for the first person from Europe to comment anything, if there is a person there, watching from Europe. But yeah, is there any comments?
No, not from Europe, but there's a new comment from Jake. Said, I did that today. It was good and a little more syrupy.
There we go, Jake. That's exactly what I'm saying. As coffee cools down, it kind of it becomes more viscous for some reason, and I think the reason it becomes more viscous is not because it actually thickens up, but because our tongue is basically a receptor of flavors and aromas. I don't know if it's only flavors. So our tongue perceives flavors in different ways depending on the temperature of whatever you are having. For example, a warm whiskey and a very cold whiskey, although it's the same whiskey, it's going to taste different. And it's the same with coffee, the same with wine, and most of the time it's like that. For example, coffee and wine, when it comes to tasting notes and just the tasting experience, are very similar. 2 weeks ago we went in a winery here in Victoria, and we had a wine tasting, and this was the first time I did wine tasting with some background of coffee knowledge. I've done wine tasting before, but I wasn't into coffee that much. So this time I tried to be present and think about what I'm tasting with the wine and kind of draw parallels between wine and coffee. And it's very interesting how after you get some experience with tasting coffee, tasting wine actually becomes interesting because you start picking up subtle notes of different types of fruits that the wine has. I remember this prosecco that we got, that we were drinking yesterday. It was so interesting because we were drinking it from these nice flute glasses, and it was served chilled. It was served probably around 9 to 10 degrees, and we tasted it and then left it a bit at room temperature. It warmed up, and it's so interesting how it kind of popped. It released even more flavors, raspberries, like cherry, it's carbonated, so it was just sparkling on your tongue as well. It's very cool. So when you draw the two parallels between the wine industry and the coffee industry, they're very similar, and that's very cool to do, to experiment basically, because it's basically the same thing. You're tasting liquids, and over here you have alcohol, obviously, so you can get drunk. But over here you have coffee, so you can get overly caffeinated and jittery.
Yeah.
Right? See?
Yes.
That's it. Any comments?
Okay. We got George saying, you three are adding a new refresh level to the coffee community. Keep it going. I'm on work break. Gotta go back to the so the supervisor doesn't break me up. Oh, George, thank you for your time. Thank you so
George.
much for the kind words.
Hopefully you will join us next time. I think we are gonna go live probably tomorrow and the day after tomorrow. So here today is Friday, so we are off Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm back at work on Monday, Valeria as well. So I think these next 3 days we are gonna do lives every day, just because we have the time, and
It's cool.
I enjoy this a lot.
It's a nice, what's that, like an hour? No. It's 10 minutes.
No, it's not 10 minutes.
It
We've
says
done more than 10 minutes.
9:18, 9:20. But maybe it's lagging.
No, mate, we've done more than 9
It
minutes.
felt more. I don't know what's this time.
We are probably like 20 minutes in.
Weird.
This
Anyway.
Yes, so I really enjoy this, I love it. So I need to figure out a better way of reading the comments. So we need to think about that today.
We'll think that
I'll have a think about it to see what we can do. Maybe leave the laptop somewhere around here. Build like a little platform where the laptop is there, and then it's just easier to read the comments because it's a bigger screen. On the phone it's a bit difficult because there's a lot of information going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll do that, and then come back tomorrow morning. I'll schedule the next live stream. It should be around 8:30 a.m. I'm an early bird, wake up early. So we'll do that tomorrow. Anyway, is there any other comments? To address? I don't want to be rude.
Jay, feel free to give away your set to 70 as a contest prize. Okay, when we will upgrade to something better, we will give away the set.
In one of the videos that we did for 1,000 subscribers, right, when we hit 1,000, it's not my idea. A lot of channels are doing that, but what I was saying to do is to do prizes based on like a money pool that the whole community donates towards. So I was thinking of doing like a PayPal link where everyone puts in like $1 or $2 or whatever, and then after a month we see how much money there is in the pool, I buy a piece of equipment and then draw a winner out of all of the people who have donated and just send it to them.
Cool.
Yes, that way, because for example, we personally are not, how can I put it nicely, we're not that rich. You know, this equipment that I bought was, you know, I worked as a barista, so the barista work here in Australia is not paid a lot, to be honest.
It's very,
You know,
average, unless you upgrade and, you know,
yes.
make your
So
way.
anyway, the total income of the household is not huge, and all of the equipment that I have, I try to get the best value for money things. That's why I don't have a niche grinder, because I just can't justify spending $1,400 for a grinder that's gonna grind coffee basically, right? Because the sete costs $500, right? And so on. But I really like this idea of the money pool where we draw a lucky winner and actually send it to them for free. And all of those expenses are covered with the money from the money pool, right? So that way the community supports itself basically. And it's also, we're having fun. We could also review the product before we send it out and so on.
Yeah, that would
You
make
know?
sense.
We're open to ideas.
Yes.
So if anyone has an idea, they could. The best way to reach us is probably on Instagram, because I've had, since releasing that video as well, we've had a lot of people messaging us and starting following us on Instagram as well from YouTube. So it's like a little transfer of people, and that's excellent. So if you ever feel like sending us a personal a DM, I think that's what it's called.
Yeah.
If you ever feel like sending us a DM, go on Instagram. It's TMBean channel, and send us a message. That's the easiest way to get through up to us.
Yeah.
And we're always open to new ideas. I like the idea of giving away stuff, but at the same time, the channel is not making that much money to just buy
Something
a $500 grinder and just give it away, right?
Not yet.
So
at
not
least.
yet. In the future, no problem at all. But at the moment, I think the best idea would be to create this money pool. You know, if we have, for example, 1,400 subscribers, right, and half of them donate $1 in the money pool, right, that would be $700. Right, that's $700. For $700, we could literally buy an espresso machine here and send it anywhere in the world.
Imagine.
Yes. So I mean, that would be perfect.
Yes.
But whoever feels like this or has any new ideas, they can let us know.
Please do.
Yes.
Okay, I think that the comment section has stopped for a bit.
Thank you to everyone who was watching,
Thank you.
everyone who was commenting. We love you guys. We appreciate you. Appreciate the fact that you take time off to watch us drink coffee here in Melbourne.
It's really not
Thank
taken
you.
for granted.
Thank you to George as well for donating $20. That's very generous of you.
Yes.
I'm surprised. I'm speechless. You know.
I wasn't expecting it either.
Me neither. I didn't even know. I didn't know you could do that.
Well, it happened. So.
I need to figure out how this is done. So cool. Thank you, George.
Thanks.
We want to wish you a happy New Year's Eve, because most of you are probably just gonna enter the new year. Once again, I want to tell you that we're already in the new year. Everything's good so far.
The world hasn't blown up yet.
It's all good. The zombie apocalypse hasn't started yet, and the aliens haven't invaded, so it's all good. So enjoy this New Year's Eve and join us tomorrow again for another live stream. I'll just figure out what we'll talk about tomorrow. And yes, have a good one. Thank you for joining.
Have fun.
And we will see you tomorrow.
Yes.
Now let me rush over to the phone and press that X
button.
Bye.
That was cool.